Hello, my name is Jason Lowry.
Peace, baby. I'm Mark Toady.
And this is the Parkland Podcast.
It's the Parkland Podcast with Jason and Mark. It's the Parkland Podcast with Jason and Mark. They got plenty to say. They got plenty of heart. On the Parkland Podcast with Jason and Mark. It's the Parkland Podcast. Yeah, the Parkland Podcast. It's the Parkland Podcast. Yeah, the Parkland Podcast with Jason and Mark. Jason and Mark.
Welcome. Episode 65 of the Parkland Podcast.
Is it 65 or 66?
One of those. I don't know. The sheet in front of me, I think, will tell me. Episode 65, it says.
Nice.
So, yeah, because Labor Day was 64.
So we're now AARP eligible
Yeah.
and we can retire.
Just fade off into the sunset.
There you go. I did that a long time ago.
This episode brought to you by Parkland Pharmacy, Discover Farmington, Heimburger Construction, Subway of the Parkland, and First State Community Bank. We haven't talked about your brother in a while, our musical, what do we call him? Our musical provider?
He's one of them. Yeah, he's our critic.
He's our critic.
Yeah, he's our biggest and best critic. So
Yeah.
he will let me know if we did something wrong.
Yeah, that's great, though. Jacob Towers is that guy for me. He's always like, hey, the audio was not
father-in-law.
good. And my father-in-law, he's always the critique for the music
Yes.
picks, Jim Whaley. So,
Went to see my brother last Sunday. Went to O'Fallon and went to my brother's church, which is technically my niece's husband's church. And my brother plays the bass in the church band. And then we all went out to a Mexican restaurant and had a wonderful, wonderful time. And they're getting ready to go to Colorado in a couple of weeks with some of their friends. So, brother, hope you have a great time out there.
hey, coming up on the show, going to be a great episode. We're going to have Maddie Erwin. She'll be joining us from the St. Francis County Walk to End Alzheimer's.
Yep.
And then we'll have Judge Michael Randazzo, and he is a Bismarck graduate
Nice.
and a judge and has a new book coming out. And also, too, very interesting story. If you go back in his family lineage, he's got mob ties.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so it's going to be a very, very interesting show, and he's ready to talk about all that. Plus, you had a chance recently to catch up with Nancy Faulkner.
Yeah, we're going to hear about what's going on at the food pantry, maybe give a little sneak preview of the Help the Hungry barbecue, which is coming up this week.
Yeah, I placed my order on Friday. I'm going with the barbecued hamburger.
Can't go wrong. I get one of each usually.
Oh, yeah. The pulled pork's great, too. But, man, that barbecued hamburger is just sauced up so right. And, again, you can check that out, their Facebook page, to get your order in. Is there a deadline to get pre-orders in? I know at the school we had to get them in by Friday, but I don't know.
I'll
about the
check
event.
during a commercial break and find out.
Okay. We'll forget about that. What'd you do this week? Tell me about your Labor Day experience. How was it?
It was great. Spent about 3 hours hanging out with Justin Wilkerson and Joe Gilgore and Luke Mell and Larry Joseph. And we served up beer. This is like year number 5 or 6 that I've been doing that for the Labor Day picnic. A lot of fun. Got to see a lot of people you don't see very often. One of my favorite things about the Labor Day picnic. We had a great broadcast last Saturday from the podcast. Want to send a shout out to Michelle Smith, Amped Lifestyle, and the people from Anytime Fitness who joined us. Michelle called me and told me they made $675 for the United Way through their Labor Day run, which was really good.
That's great. Yeah, that was a lot of fun getting guests. I failed to ask Mike Henderson, though, about the special session that he's going to be involved in.
Yeah, I thought about that, but...
Yeah, well, we were having a pretty good conversation about other things as well, but I forgot to ask him about that, and I feel bad. I feel like I didn't do my journalistic job.
Got to go on a tour of the Tom Sauk power plant on Friday. It was awesome. So thank you to all the folks from. We were there on a United Way thing. Lee Ragsdale and Jackie Berry. Good morning, ladies.
Hello, Jackie.
We all went down there and just had a great time. Thank you for the hospitality. They fed us big, huge steaks too for lunch. Steak for lunch is an amazing thing.
Wow.
And it was really good. Steak and a baked potato. So, Tom Sock, if you ever get a chance to tour the plant and get inside and walk on top of the reservoir, it's really an amazing thing.
And I bet it's pretty much all new because of the breach a few years ago, right?
The breach was actually 20 years ago.
Are you kidding me? It was that long ago?
It's been 20 because I asked that same question.
Gosh,
I thought it was
20
like
years.
7, 8, 9, 10 years ago. They said, no, it was 2005. And it took them 5 years to rebuild. And, wow, it just, when you're on top of that, of the reservoir, though, and you're looking down, it's quite an impressive view. I took some pictures that are on our Facebook pages, so check them out if you get a chance.
Yeah, what a really neat place. That is the highest point in the state of Missouri, is that right?
Highest point above sea level, either the reservoir or the Tom Sock Mountain itself might be a little higher.
And then what's the second highest point? You know this.
Well, yeah, it's Stono Mountain.
Yeah.
So
that was drilled into your head about 50 million times a day, wasn't it?
By Brooksy. Shout out Kevin Brooks.
Well, I had a blast at the Deloge Labor Day picnic because it is in my backyard. Saturday was a good time visiting with people. Sunday was our big rides day. I don't know how many times Lucy rode Area 51, but I think her brain shifted a little bit in her skull because of it.
Well, I do have to send a shout out, though, to Maddie Herzog.
Yes.
And to Justin Wilkerson.
Yes.
Because, I don't really drink beer anymore, but I do drink that Michelob Ultra Zero. So Justin said he'd go out and get a 12-pack of that, and Mandy went out and she got a 12-pack of it too, so I got to take some beer home with me.
So he went home with 3 beers. Way to go.
That would have meant a lot more to me back in the day when I was actually drinking real beer, but still, what the heck. I appreciate them more than they ever will know.
That was awesome. And then Monday went and took in the parade, great parade this year. And then Jonas and I are making a promotional video for the band Vinyl Revolution, which is
good.
They did a great job on Monday, made up of a lot of GTOers.
That band is really good.
Yeah, so we're going to try to make them look even better to get a few more gigs, and so that was kind of a cool father-son activity we did Monday in the park. So that was a lot of fun, and then just a short week, but it sure didn't feel like it. Only 4 days this week because of the Labor Day holiday. Good night last night in Jefferson as the Central Rebels won in overtime. Kicked and the game was tied up, went to overtime. Jefferson went down, scored a touchdown on their overtime possession, but missed the 2-point conversion. So Central has a 4th and 10, I guess at the 25. Because they couldn't move the ball the first 3 plays. They run a trick play where they put 4 wide receivers on the far side. They throw the ball to the 4th receiver that's lined up. He's the backup quarterback. He takes it, and the running back was kind of on a little wheel route coming out of the backfield. Everybody went that way. The running back went this way, and kudos to the backup quarterback because he'd been on the bench. I think he played special teams, maybe 2 or 3 plays, and he throws a perfect strike to the kid in the end zone for the game-tying touchdown. And then extra point goes through, and Central wins it in walk-off fashion.
Way to go, Rebels. Kory Schweiss.
And cool to see David Haug. I did not know that he's the superintendent of Jefferson. David was a couple of years ahead of me in school, but we never actually went to school together because he was I think they moved, I was in the same class as Teresa, who was the oldest daughter, and I think David was 2 years older than me. So they moved to Dexter during the Haug coaching career, and that's where he played and graduated from.
Was David the one that went on to Oklahoma State? Or Okay,
yeah.
He was a great quarterback.
Absolutely. And then athletic director. He was athletic director at North County for a while, and then eventually settled in at Jefferson, which is a great school district. My goodness. And they were super nice to us and very welcoming. And thank you, David. Worked his way up, became the superintendent, and looks like he's doing a good job there.
And a
So-
special shout out to your wife for meeting you on Highway Y because somebody forgot a computer last night.
Oh my, that was the worst, man. We get there, unload the tote with the camera and everything, and Jacob Towers looks at me and he goes, "So where's the computer?" And I'm like, "No." So down the road I went, and Kayla met me almost halfway, and we were able to get everything back there. So we didn't get a full-on pregame. Fortunately, the 2 interviews that Chad Winch did, which are awesome, with Knuckleball Primetime, he's been doing that for us again this year.
Way to go, Chad.
Yeah, those were already on YouTube, so I didn't feel too bad. It wasn't that people didn't get a chance to see him, but we got started a little late. But once we got rolling, it was awesome. The instant replay worked, which was fantastic. I thought Chad and Coach Stolzer had a great game.
Good deal.
Calling it, and of course, when you got an overtime thriller, I mean, it's hard to not enjoy yourself.
Well, I meant to tune in last night, but I had to watch the Chiefs play.
Oh yeah,
And I couldn't figure out how to cast my cell phone onto my TV, so I had to watch the Chiefs game on my little phone. And I probably should have listened to and watched the Rebels game because it was a better game than the Chiefs.
Well, the outcome, yeah. If you click on your YouTube in the upper right-hand corner, there's like a little square button, and you click on that, and then it'll show like your TV to connect to.
Now
Now I offer this to you, and it's completely useless. There needs to be a service because my mom has an issue, and I need to get over and help her out with Amazon, where she's getting billed every month for Prime. And she has tried to cancel this over the phone, and, it's just not working. I wonder if there's a way to create like a service for people to help people with their tech problems.
There should be.
Well, how much would you pay for that, Mark Tody?
Probably a good penny. I don't know. Yeah.
Huh. There you go, kids. If you're good at tech, that's a job you can use. Practice with your grandparents and help them out.
Yeah.
That'll work. Let's see. What about some trivia? Do you have any trivia for us?
I've got some trivia.
Great.
This first one is for our buddy Chad Winch, who is a big Kiss fan.
All right. He's in the Kiss Army.
Kiss never had a #1 hit in their career in America. They did have a couple overseas. What song came the closest?
In America?
Yes.
I would say Rock and Roll All Night.
Well, that's what I would have said too, but it's when you hear this, you'll say, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Beth.
Yeah.
In
Yep,
1976. Carly Simon's big hit, You're So Vain. Great, great tune. Who did the backup vocals? What music legend performed backup vocals?
Was it James Taylor?
Not James Taylor. I'll give you one more guess.
It's a dude, right?
It's a dude. It totally
Music legend.
I did not realize this.
Smokey Robinson.
Mick Jagger.
Really?
Mick Jagger sang backup vocals on You're So Vain.
Who was that song about?
Well, they say Warren Beatty.
Right?
But I've also heard Mick Jagger, Geraldo Rivera.
Geraldo.
Yeah, believe it or not. Bernie Ledden. I hope I said that right. Glenn Frey, Don Henley, and Randy Meisner. Of course, the Eagles. But they were also part of this artist's backup band before forming the Eagles.
Linda Ronstadt.
Linda Ronstadt. Yes, very good. 1 out of 3 so far.
33%.
Here's one, and I just found this out this week, as a matter of fact. Michael McDonald from St. Louis.
Yes.
Member of the Doobie Brothers.
Yes.
Helped to write this Van Halen song.
Van Halen song?
Yes. Great tune.
Oh, my.
And I think
Michael
he
McDonald.
performs on it, too.
He performs on it?
Yep.
Oh, all right. Let me think about this. He's not in Hot for Teacher.
Yeah, by the way, if you ever hear the album version of Hot for Teacher and you have little kids in the room,
Oh, yeah.
cover their ears or get them out of the room
I think
first.
the clock is slow.
Hey, what the?
Golly, Oh, I don't know. Eruption.
I'll wait. I'll wait.
I can hear Michael McDonald's influence on
Yes.
that tune. That's
Very
okay. Good.
That's a good little trivia
Yeah.
there. And the last Cardinal to win Rookie of the Year was Albert Pujols.
Good player.
Who was the last Cardinal before that to win Rookie of the Year?
Let's see. Coleman won it in '85. Todd Worrell won it in '86. Was there anybody between Todd Worrell and Albert Pujols? I don't think so. I'm going to go with Todd Worrell.
You should have gone with Vince Coleman.
Vince Coleman?
Yeah.
Did Todd Worrell not win it the year after?
I don't think so.
Oh, no. I must have had that wrong in my mind. I thought we being the Cardinals, had 2 Rookies of the Year in a row, and it was Vince Coleman in '85 when he stole 110 bases, and then Todd Worrell the next year, even though he was the closer for that '85 team by the time
Todd Worrell, actually, his rookie year was 1985. And then he
but he
pitched-
wasn't fully
and then
fully
86
vested.
and then 87.
But he was not Rookie of the Year in '86. Why? I
He was
had
actually
that wrong in my mind.
Yeah, he pitched in 17 games in 1985, went 3-0 with a 2.91 ERA.
Yeah, he took over, I guess, was Jeff Lottie the closer, and I think he took over for him.
It could have been.
Yeah. Wow, I was thoroughly convinced that Todd Worrell. So Vince Coleman was the guy.
Yes.
Oh man, somebody told me a totally awesome radio story about you, and I can't remember it now. But when they said that, I'm like, oh my gosh, we got to use that.
Who
on the
told you this?
podcast. I don't even remember. This whole week I spoke to so many people. The computer inside my brain hasn't gone through and processed what everybody said yet.
Yeah, if you knew who it was, I might remember.
Yeah. Oh, and it was a good one too.
But did it involve nudity?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
No. Well, are there some that do?
Well, actually, yeah, there is. Yeah.
Can we hear it?
No.
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 Okay. Golly, I'm just keep thinking about Todd Worrell. Got any stories about Todd Worrell? Yeah. So great Labor Day weekend. Hope you had one as well. And again, we got some great guests coming up here on the show. But want to take a minute and talk about our friends at Subway. Eat Fresh.
Eat Fresh.
I was at the Farmington location Thursday. Got Subway Club and some cookies. Was very, very pleased. Got the bring back the spicy mustard. That's my only complaint about Subway is they no longer have that spicy mustard. Everything else is fantastic.
I have no complaints. I just wish they would hurry up and bring back the soup, though. As much as I love the Beast, and I had the Subway Club the week before that, as much as I love their sandwiches, the soup, oh my gosh, broccoli cheddar soup is to die for there.
Check them out. And also a big announcement this week. Did you see on Facebook where Subway, the Farmington store was like the #1 store in the region?
I don't doubt that. When you've got like Brianna and Jessica there, I have no doubt, and it won't be too much longer before Bonterre with Miss Heather will be right up there at the top as well. So Jake and Mike, congratulations.
Yeah.
Job well done. And girls, I stopped in yesterday, and Brianna was trying to get me to start watching the Insidious movies.
Oh,
Because I like scary movies.
Okay.
I don't like horror movies like Freddy and all that stuff and
Yeah.
Michael Myers and Halloween, but the spooky movies, those are really good. And we were talking about those. What's the new one that's out now? It's the latest in the series of spooky movies, the possession movies.
yeah, I think so.
But-
Is it Megan the Doll? Is that it?
No. It's got Patrick Wilson in it. And I can't think of the other girl's name, but I've watched all of them. They're all really good. And they've got a new one out. It's showing in Farmington.
There you go. So go to Farmington Subway and then go to the movies.
And then compare notes with Brianna.
Yes. There you go. Also want to take a minute and talk about Parkland Pharmacy, caring for you and about you. They have a big blood drive coming up at their Fredericktown location. We got that on the events page, which we'll talk about just a little bit. But that's always a fine example of what Parkland Pharmacy does for their customers.
Yeah, and we're not too far away from the new Medicare cycle coming back around again. So you'll definitely, if you're of a certain age like I am, you'll definitely want to make sure you got that taken care of, and they can really help you out with that. It's about time to start thinking about flu shots, and I know you can get your flu shots through Parkland Pharmacy. And if you just want to go in and visit with some really nice people, stop by and see them. They will treat you wonderfully.
There you go. Parkland Pharmacy, caring for you and about you. We'll take a quick break here on the Parkland Podcast. I think we're going to hear from Nancy Faulkner real quick, and then after that, we'll visit with Maddie Erwin. She'll be our guest next here on the Parkland Podcast. It is 8:21. Thanks for tuning in this morning here on Facebook Live and YouTube.
Farmington, Missouri, your destination for a perfect weekend getaway. Dine in at one of our quality restaurants or visit one of our surrounding wineries. Farmington offers a variety of parks and other recreational leisure time activities. See some sights, have some fun, and go wherever your heart takes you. Sounds like a lot of fun, so get a room and stay a while. All this and more awaits you just 60 miles south of St. Louis. Discover Farmington today.
Nancy Faulkner joins us now on the Parkland Podcast, and she is the director of the Farmington Ministerial Alliance. And Nancy, it's been a busy summer. It's winding down. Kids are going back to school. I bet it's been another crazy year so far for you, hasn't it?
Yes, it has been. A lot going on here at the Ministerial Alliance between the food pantry and the thrift store.
People still don't realize just how many families, how many people you are helping. Tell us more about that.
So we help in the food pantry. We help between 300 to 350 families every month with food. We also help people in our thrift store with clothing, household items. We also help with rent assistance, utility assistance, gas vouchers, many other things that happen to come into our facility that people need help with.
Maybe a few misconceptions we can clear up here. People just don't come to the door and say, hey, I need food or I need this. They have to go through a system where they qualify for these things.
Well, anybody, we normally serve in the food pantry, the Farmington School District. Anybody can come one time as long as they live in St. Francis County, and we're going to give them food and we're going to refer them to the resources that serve the area that they're in. We do, however, ask that they go through East Missouri Action Agency after the first visit and get certified for our pantry or any other pantry that they that services the area that they live in.
And Nancy, I got to tell you, we're not just giving folks, the leftovers that nobody else wants. There's some good food here.
Yeah, there is. There's a lot of food that we purchase either through a local grocery store or through the St. Louis Food Bank. We also do retail pickups from Walmart, Schnucks, Aldi's, with good food that's still, that they just either are changing their shelves or not carrying anymore, whatever the case may be, but that's still really good food. We're averaging giving away about at least 50 pounds of food per person that comes into the door.
And for folks with bigger families, I just helped a lady that had 5 kids. She was shopping for 7. She said they don't know how they'd make it without services like this.
Yeah, especially with some of the government cuts that are going on right now. Like, for example, we're down, I'd say, at least 40 or 50% on what we were getting in government commodities, especially in the meat department. So what we get through our grocery stores and what things we buy it's got to supplement what we're losing, and I'm sure that food stamps are probably being cut and everything else as well.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that. If you had a crystal ball and you could look into the future Is it going to get better before it gets worse, or are you concerned it might get worse before it gets better?
You know, I'm kind of concerned it might get worse before it gets better, because I'm hearing of other programs that don't necessarily affect us that have been around for a long time that are also taking some deep cuts and stuff. So it's kind of scary right now, just where some of these funds are going to end up going to.
If people don't like what they're hearing, is it best for them to contact their congressman, or is there another way they can help?
Yeah, definitely contact your congressman about food cuts and any other kind of services that you are aware of in the community that are being cut.
Nancy, tell us about volunteerism. How big of a part does it play in the success of your operation here at the Farmington Ministerial Alliance Food Pantry?
We could not run the food pantry without volunteers. Our volunteers take care of our customers every single day. We just couldn't do it without them. They are our meat and butter on this program. I mean, they make it happen.
Well, speaking of things that go a long way in helping you with your mission, we can't do an interview with you without mentioning the Help the Hungry Bake Sale.
Yes, that's coming up. Well, barbecue is next month is coming up, and they have been doing a lot of things this year to raise some funds, and it's needed more than ever, especially with these government cuts that are happening.
So keep that on your calendars. The barbecue in September, the actual Help the Hungry is in November, the Saturday before Thanksgiving. If folks want to volunteer their time, if they want to donate something to the thrift store, if they just want to help you with their mission, what's the best way to reach you?
Well, first off, I also want to say if you're gardening and you got too much too many vegetables or fruits, bring them in. Our people would love to have them. But yeah, just bring them by. Any donations, bring them by here. We are open from 9 to 5, Monday through Saturday. The food pantry, you can get somebody at the food pantry from at least 9 until 2 every day if you're going to drop food off there. If you're wanting to volunteer, then come in, grab a volunteer application at our cash register, fill it out, and bring it back to us.
And you're located in the old Farmington Family Fun Center building alley.
Family Fun Center building at 765 Weber Road, right next to Catfish Kettle.
Nancy, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mark.
All right, that's Nancy Faulkner. She is the director of the Farmington Ministerial Alliance Food Pantry and Thrift Store. They do a great job in helping out in the community, and she's been our guest today on the Parkland podcast.
Farmington, Missouri, your destination for a perfect weekend getaway. Dine in at one of our quality restaurants or visit one of our surrounding wineries. Farmington offers a variety of parks and other recreational leisure time activities. See some sights, have some fun, and go wherever your heart takes you. Sounds like a lot of fun, so get a room and stay a while. All this and more awaits you just 60 miles south of St. Louis. Discover Farmington today.
Back on the Parkland podcast, 8:28 on this Saturday morning, and joining us in studio to talk about this year's Walk to End Alzheimer's, we have Maddie Erwin. Maddie is back with us again. Good to see you. Good morning.
Good morning.
And you brought Matt Bollinger with you. Matt, good morning. How are you, sir?
I'm good.
Good. Glad you guys are both here. You have your big event coming up at the end of the month. Maddie, tell us about this year's big walk.
Yes, so September 27th, we have the Walk to End Alzheimer's at Mineral Area College. It's going to be at 9:30 a.m., and we're going to meet in the quad. We'll have our little ceremony start there. I say our little ceremony, but that's a really impactful part of this event is our flower opening ceremony, and then we're going to walk off, and we have... If you don't want to walk very far, because I hear from a lot of people it's either too far or too short. So if you are up for the short path, those folks can walk just a lap around the quad or two, whatever they feel comfortable with. And our people that want to walk a little bit farther, they're going to walk out to the tech center around that and back. So it's a little over a mile, so it should be a good a good walk, and we have some activities along the way. We have some music. We're going to have a hot dog barbecue at the end. We're going to have all kinds of refreshments, so it'll be a good time.
Is this a fundraising part of what you've been doing pretty much all summer long, or is this the big wrap up?
This is the big wrap up. So this is the celebration of all the fundraising that we've been doing. This is, hopefully we're going to reach our goal before then. I think we're on track to. So we have a few more fundraisers going on right now, actually, that are going to hopefully help us get to that goal of $51,000 that we're trying to raise.
What's going on right now?
Yeah, I'm about to say, literally right now, Park Hill Senior Center, what's happening there?
Yes, so the wonderful folks at Park Hill Senior Center are doing a biscuits and bingo right now over there. I heard it's about $20 for an all-you-can-eat biscuit buffet, and they have all of the fixins. So I heard it's pretty good, and then they're going to have some bingo. They have some raffle items, all kinds of fun stuff. So if you want to see what's going on, I know I'm headed there right after this.
So what is your goal
What is my goal?
to raise?
Like
for-
numbers?
$51,000 overall.
Wow.
For the area. So it's ambitious, but right now we're actually at about 40,000 already.
so
So
close.
we are in the about $10,000 left to go range. So I know that we're going to make it.
Now, you said there's a couple of different fundraisers going on. What's the other one?
Well, I had one on Thursday, so that one's already passed, and we had another bingo kind of event at Four Towns. We had musical bingo with a yacht rock theme. And then I'm sure that there's some other teams that are putting on their fundraisers as well. So kind of how the Walk to End Alzheimer's works is you can register. It's free to register, but then we encourage you to do a fundraiser or to ask for donations along the way. So a lot of our teams will put on an event to gather their friends and family together, raise funds, and then come out and celebrate on Walk Day.
Typically, what kind of fundraisers do people do? You mentioned the bingo, there's trivia nights. I guess it's kind of limitless, right?
There's all kinds of fun things. I've seen car shows. We had a trivia night recently too.
Yep.
So a couple of our teams came together to put on a big trivia at Mac. They raised $2,400, so that was really nice. And then it's limitless, really. There's all kinds of things. I know the bank, so First State Community Bank did their hot dog barbecue, and they donated proceeds from that. I've had a couple of groups that if they have to dress up very regularly, they do a dress down, and you pay $1 or $5 for a sticker, and then you can wear jeans to work or something like that. There's so many different options.
It's not just about raising money, though. It's also about raising awareness, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yes. Go ahead. You go ahead? I don't know. I was going to throw you under the bus.
I was just agreeing.
Yes, it's about raising awareness. So just having people understand that there's a lot of people in our community that are impacted by Alzheimer's and dementia. Crazy number, 1 in 3 seniors will die with Alzheimer's or dementia. It's a very, very sad number. And these are often folks that we don't think about on a regular basis. They're kind of off, I don't want to say off in the corners, but they're not out in present. They're not engaging with our community in the same way, and we still need to acknowledge them, recognize them, and make sure we're providing all that we can for them as well.
I know my grandmother had it at the end of her life, and we were fortunate because she was very, very she was just always in a good mood. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes, it's just the basic forgetfulness, and she'd be like, well, I don't know who you are, but you're so nice, But sometimes, too, it can go the other way, and things can be really, really tough, especially on those caregivers.
Oh, the caregivers, it's really tough. But like you said, there's a lot of different ways that this disease can impact people. So dementia is the overarching term, and Alzheimer's is just one of those types of dementia. So just in terms of how we understand the disease, and there are other different types of dementia as well. So kind of how we think about cancer as one big thing, but then there are different types of cancer. But we think of breast cancer as one of the most common types of cancer. So Alzheimer's is one of the most common types of dementia. As an easy way to compare it and help people understand how this disease works. And so there's lots of different types. It affects people differently. I've heard a lot of stories of some types of dementia can make people really angry and mean. And that is so hard on families and on those caregivers, because their memories of this person are that they're sweet and that they love them, but then their personality changes entirely. But I want to bring it back to our caregivers. Can you talk a little bit? We have a caregiver support group now, which is really exciting.
My wife is helping facilitate that now. Oh, can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. She's helping facilitate that. It's on, I think Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. Third Tuesday of every month.
Yep.
And where does that happen?
The Life Inc. or Life Center.
Life Center.
I've heard both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
That's kind of like she's the main reason. Like primarily, at first when I joined, she was like the primary reason I was there. I've like listening to people. I think I'm like in the community, not the community, but the committee. Like in the committee, I think I'm the one that's kind of impacted the least, like directly, not like removing Kenzie's family. Like I've impacted the least with this. So I didn't know anything about Alzheimer's going into it. I had to learn all that from Kenzie and her introducing me to her grandmother and grandfather, because they both at the same time had Alzheimer's.
Wow.
Her grandmother got sick first, and her grandfather took care of his wife naturally, and then he started getting sick, and they both suffered through it together. When she introduced me to them, that was really painful. That's just entering that room, and then I don't remember what the nursing home was. I think it was, but entering that room felt you can just immediately feel off, like it hurt to be there. It was so sad. But after thinking about it like that, like I felt like I didn't really have any skin in the game going on until I met Kenzie's grandparents. I've kind of set it as a goal for myself to be an example of somebody, like, to show what someone who doesn't, like, quote unquote have any skin in the game can actually contribute to the cause anyway, whether you're affected or not.
Yeah.
And watching, from the outside, seeing how that situation works, learning things, I'm sure it's been quite an eye-opening experience for you, hasn't it?
Right, yeah, and that's not to say, like, people that haven't been impacted as much, don't care, it's
sure.
They're still going to rally behind. No one's going to not rally behind the cause of, eliminate Alzheimer's, but I think when people would see, like, oh, well, he just said he's not that impacted by it, I think my great grandmother, who I rarely ever talked to, like once maybe 5 years, succumbed to Alzheimer's, but that's the extent of mine until I met Kenzie and met her grandparents. Yeah. But I feel like I want to be someone that somebody can look at, be like, oh, I don't know anybody with Alzheimer's, but how can I support? Well, you can join the committee, you can set up these fundraisers, you can set up a team and raise money that way.
Since we're up against it now, obviously somebody could come in and say, hey, here's a quick donation, but maybe they want to start planning for next year's event. They want to start putting together a team.
Exactly.
That whole process is super easy, isn't it?
Absolutely. So they can, if they want to plan something for next year, you can fundraise all year round. Actually, our fundraising year ends December. So if you still want to do something, even after the walk, and come out to the walk, see why you're fundraising, see why this is important, and then do a fundraiser after that will still support us this year, that is absolutely an option. But if you want to think next year and think something big, I would love to help support with that for sure. The Walk to End Alzheimer's, you just search that. You can put in your zip code. It'll show you what one's closest by, and then we'll reset that every year. So it's our calendar year. It's pretty simple, but
even if you haven't been on a team, been involved in this at all, you're still invited to come out on the 27th at MAC and see what it's all about.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So if, you can just put together your friends and family. You can come out as an individual. We just want people to come out to understand that they're not in this fight alone and that they can be together in community and understand what's going on.
One thing I'll give you some credit for, when you came on, you've really kind of helped rejuvenate this walk, haven't you? And that was one of your goals. Yeah, so last year we surpassed our fundraising goal a lot. Like we grew it a lot, and we had more people come out, even though
I don't know if you remember, about this time last year, we had that like semi-hurricane come
Yes.
through.
Oh, yes.
And it rained so hard all of Friday, and I was panicking. I was panicking that we were going to have to cancel, or we were going to have to move this inside somehow. And then it just misted a little bit just about Saturday. So it didn't pour, and we were okay. But even still, like, it poured so hard Friday, and it still was kind of misty on Saturday, and we had a bigger turnout than they had in years. So we're really looking forward to a good year this year. We're hoping for about 300 plus people to show up.
That's awesome.
And we have a lot of those signed up already. So it should be a good year to, kind of show off this cause and help raise funds to help promote local programs, but also move us closer to a cure, hopefully. And also, we have like treatments available, which is something that's really exciting as well.
You mentioned the support group. Are there any other kind of groups or things like that?
Yes. So we're trying to do some regular programs going on as well to help people understand what's coming up. So we have an aging or alarming program at the St. Francis County Community Partnership, and that'll be on October 6th at 5:30. So that's a free program as well for anybody who has any questions about, I don't know if this is normal behavior, or, we'll talk about the 10 warning signs of Alzheimer's and kind of go into that a lot more. But we're always looking for community partners to help host those educations for staff members, for just anybody who might need it, because we want information to be out there sooner than later. We find that a lot of healthcare providers, they said, we wish we reached someone sooner because there is treatment available. So we can help prolong your quality of life and make sure we can't put off the disease. I mean, it will still happen, but we can make sure people have a longer quality of life and are able to be out doing things for longer.
This isn't the only walk that you help organize, is it?
It is not, no. So I have Poplar Bluff on October 4th, and then in Cape Girardeau, Kappaha Park on October 11th. So
you got a busy month ahead.
It's a busy month, but all good stuff.
And that's like your whole area, I guess. Those three walks, are there any others that happen? Or?
Yes. So I cover Southeast Missouri, and I cover those three, but across nationwide, there are 600 plus walks that are going on this September to October time. Actually, I think today is the first walk for our Greater Missouri chapter, and that's in Washington. There's a lot going on about this time. Wherever you are, I'm sure you can find a walk that's near you right now.
Very cool. Anything else we need to throw out there for folks before we let you guys go this morning?
Yeah, just one last thing is our helpline number. So
yes.
for anybody, this is a 24/7 helpline number for anybody who ever has any questions about a behavior, about local resources, who wants to find a local contact. So that number is 800-272-3900. So if you ever have any questions, 24/7, they can help connect you with a master's level clinician as well. So if there's something that you're not really sure about for yourself or for somebody that you're taking care of, they can help provide that information.
Last question. Who's going to eat more biscuits and gravy this morning, you or Matt? I think my money might go on Matt, but I'm not sure.
I don't know about that.
Maddie can put it away.
I can put it away pretty good. So we'll see.
And again, that fundraiser happening right now at the Park Hills Senior Center. Again, another great organization that's always behind a lot of
Thank
causes.
you, Holly.
Yeah, great job. And Mineral Area College, I'm sure, great partner for you guys over the years.
They really have been amazing. And this year we're blessed to have a couple of committee members that are from the college and have been able to help us maximize that relationship. So shout out to Angie Haggerty, because she is amazing and has really helped us so much in being able to have that trivia night there, being able to find a good walk path. They're able to really open up that space and find some volunteers. So I know that the cheerleaders are going to come cheer us on. There's a lot of good stuff. So.
Like Kirby the Cardinal will be there too.
He was there last year, so there's a potential.
Yeah, I've seen him a lot.
Good. Fantastic. Thank you so much, both of you, for coming here this morning. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you all.
September 27th, Mineral Area College in the Quad. 9:30 in the morning is when it gets underway. Maddie, Erwin, Matt Bollinger, our guest here on the Parkland podcast. Thanks for tuning in this morning. Coming up next, we're going to check our events page right here on Facebook and YouTube.
Parkland Pharmacy is out to prove that local independent pharmacy is alive and well. We work hard at giving you an excellent experience every time you come to see us. We love what we do, and we would love to take care of you. There's no need to be frustrated with your health care. If you're tired of what your pharmacy is not doing for you, then stop waiting in line and come see us today. We have 6 locations across Southeast Missouri, so Google us to find the store nearest you or visit parklandrx.com. Parkland Pharmacy is a local pharmacy at its finest.
Since 1941, Busenbark Flooring has been Southeast Missouri's trusted name in flooring. This family-owned business features top-quality carpet, tile, and hardwood, along with countertops, kitchens, and bathrooms, all with expert installation. Need to haul it? Busenbark Trailer Sales has you covered. Come see the large selection of dump trailers, equipment haulers, goosenecks, livestock trailers, and more. Visit busenbarkflooring.com and busenbarktrailersales.com. Or stop by and see everything at the Fairgrounds exit on Highway 67. Events are coming up next. They are sponsored by Discover Farmington, more than you ever imagined.
Farmington, Missouri, your destination for a perfect weekend getaway. Dine in at one of our quality restaurants or visit one of our surrounding wineries. Farmington offers a variety of parks and other recreational leisure time activities. See some sights, have some fun, and go wherever your heart takes you. Sounds like a lot of fun, so get a room and stay a while. All this and more awaits you just 60 miles south of St. Louis. Discover Farmington today.
DiscoverFarmingtonMo.com, the website that has it all, the place to go to find out about what's happening in the area, Mark Tody.
And there is a lot going on, including today. Welcome Autumn in downtown Farmington. 10 to 3, downtown businesses, the raffles, the shopping events, sweets and drinks. And don't forget about that all-you-can-eat biscuits and gravy thing going on at the Park Hill Senior Center.
I'm super hungry. Maybe somebody will bring us by a plate.
Ding, ding, ding,
Matt,
ding,
did you ever
ding.
do that on the radio? Did you ever throw that out there and people show up with food?
I've never thrown it out there, but I've had people do that for me.
I've done both.
Yes.
I'm not ashamed to ask. Mineral Area College Art Club has their trivia night. That is tonight. It's at 6 o'clock. It's in the Mac Tech building. $200 per team, and your food will be provided. It is a very, very well put together trivia night.
And then if you also are in the mood for music, Black Diamond and Shannon Cox perform tonight at Columbia Park in Park Hills.
Help the Hungry Bake Sale. Get your orders in. That event happening this Thursday, September the 10th.
The Chalk Walk for Suicide Prevention is at 10 o'clock on the 13th at Owl Creek Park. And before we get to that, also I want to remind folks that coming up this coming Thursday, it'll be Dine Out for the United Way, kicking off at Pasta House in Farmington. I ate there last night. I had some great muscatoli and salad. And if you go there on Thursday, it'll be a portion of that money that you spend will go to the United Way of St. Francis County.
Caledonia Apple and Bluegrass Festival is happening on September the 13th.
There's Art in the Park, September 13th, 10 to 3, downtown Farmington, live music and longhouse tours.
Park Hills Leadington Chamber of Commerce presents Music Trivia, September 13th, 5 o'clock at the White Magnolia Banquet Hall in Leadington.
Dine Out for the United Way will continue on Thursday, September 18th at Subway in the Farmington location only. So thank you very much to the good folks from Subway and Pasta House for getting our Dine Out program for United Way kicked off.
MAC Athletics Golf Tournament happens the following day, Friday, September 19th, 7 a.m., Crown Point Golf Club.
Parkland Pharmacy in Fredericktown hosting a blood drive September 19th, 3 to 6.
Blues, Brews, and Barbecue, September 19th and 20th in downtown Farmington. We will be doing the podcast live from Blues, Brews, and Barbecue on September 19th. And Mark Tody, there's all kinds of cool things happening that day.
The Casa of the Parkland Kids area, there's going to be exhibitors, artisan vendors, the Modubs VW car show, craft beer vendors, a barbecue concert, our competition, and free concerts.
Fantastic. Check it out all that weekend, Friday and Saturday, downtown Farmington, September 19th and 20th. And the Leader presents the Farmington Senior Expo, September 24th at the Mac Tech Building, free for adults aged 50 and older. Speakers, vendor booths, bingo, live music prizes, and free coffee and donuts.
And don't forget about the John Thomas Memorial Scholarship Picnic going on at St. Paul Lutheran Church in Farmington on Saturday the 27th on the elementary school parking lot off of Columbia Street. Great food, live music, all kinds of games for the kids, and more.
And we just told you about the Walk to End Alzheimer's happening September 27th at the Quad at Mineral Area College. That starts at 9:30 that morning. Those are your events. They are powered by Discover Farmington, more than you ever imagined. Book a day trip, a wedding, whatever you need. Find out more at discoverfarmingtonmo.com.
Matt Stroud Excavating and Hauling has the equipment and know-how to get that job done right. They dig basements, ponds, lakes, roads, and clearings and haul in the rock. Check out Matt Stroud Excavating and Hauling's commercial work at Domino's in Farmington and Fredericktown and Leadbelt Motorsports. Call Matt Stroud Excavating and Hauling today at 701-3258. That's 701-3258.
8:51 on this Saturday morning. Mark Tody, what is our weather going to be?
That's going to be fabulous. Oh, this is what we've been waiting for all year. It's about 60 wonderful degrees right now. Great weather to stop by the farmers market, by the way, in Farmington. I was just there before I came here and talked to Shirley and Larry and Kay, and they've got some tomatoes and still a few cucumbers left. So, but anyway, weather-wise, sunny and 77 today. We'll have an overnight low of 50, back up into the mid to upper 70s tomorrow and Monday, and then back into the 80s, and then summer heat returns toward the middle to latter part of the week. 89 on Wednesday, 91 on Thursday.
Ooh, going to be hot next Friday.
Going to be warm.
Going to be hot. Let's check your sports now on the Parkland podcast. Our broadcast game last night, one for the ages. The Central Rebels win it in overtime, 21-20 over the Jefferson Blue Jays. What a finish. After the ball game, Kory Schweiss caught up with our Mike Reeves.
Mike Reeves and Kory Schweiss.
Well, I guess I would say, where do you start? You finish with that. You won the football game, but there was so much that happened to you there.
Well, I always tell the kids, we preach about turnovers all the time, and I don't know, this might be the first one we've ever won where we lost the turnover battle by 4 or more. So, that's a lot of resilience by our kids. Not only did we turn it over 4 times, but we turned it over in bad spots. Silas Richardson made a tackle on one of them that was, he saved a touchdown, really. We forgot to even mention that one down there. But, a lot of things went against us tonight, and they still battled and still gave us – the thing I say about this group is they've been underdogs their whole life, and people have been counting them out. And I've been telling people they play really hard, and they did tonight. Jefferson played extremely hard tonight. I thought both teams played hard. Great sportsmanship on both sides all night long. It was just a really cool high school game to be a part of.
I think sometimes you lose track when you do what we do. I'm thinking about that's not a pretty game. There's so much that's not being done right. There's a lot of mistakes. But at the end of the night, competition is competition, and you got to find a way to battle through that. I thought both these teams battled through the adversity all night long, and there's a lot to be said about that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it wasn't a clean game by any means. Like anytime you turn the ball over 4 times, you're not going to call it clean by any means. But there is a lot of good things. I mean, the resiliency, but not only that, there were a lot of really good plays in between those bad ones. Our defense I thought our defense was awesome all night. I know we gave up a pick 6 and we gave up one other score, but we also put our defense in some really bad spots, and our defense came up big. And they've got a good team and they've got a good offense, and that quarterback's a heck of a player. And we did a pretty good job containing him for most of the night.
Play was in book at the Arsenal. On a distance at that point?
Yeah, I mean, matter of fact, as soon as we started the overtime and they scored, Coach Calvert on the headset asked about that particular play. And I was like, well, we'll just have to see where we're at. He said, are we too close to run it? I said, no, we can run it from here. But if we get closer, it might be kind of hard. But from that distance, it's doable or whatever. So, we've run that play over the years, several times at different times. If people go back and watch our film for the last 20 years, they can probably find all kinds of things like that. But, Coach Bridges called it at the right time. Coach Calvert, I think, put a bug in his ear, and it worked. And they executed great. August was out, most of that overtime because he was cramping. And he was the one that repped that all week. So we were like, can you go in there? So he ran it with a cramped leg. Patterson, who's been on the bench all night, who's just been a tremendous team player, throws a dot right on target. And, a guy that's playing a little bit of special pass like that's pretty impressive. So Braden Patterson shows his leadership as a senior in that play, and big play for everybody.
Not asking preseason, have you practiced that play?
Well, we have a session in practice where we practice things like that. I don't know, we probably practiced it a handful of times, 5 or 6. We call that play Ritter because we ran that play against certain plays we just give names to, and that was one of them. And people are all going to see that. You guys are going to have it on TV, so I got to run that one again.
Kick the extra point. Did any of that come from the fact that on the field goal attempt to try to win the game in regulation, he hit it good? He just out a leg. Did anything play off of that, or was that something you would have done regardless of the tie game?
Knew they would go. They got it, we would have to go for 2, but if they didn't, we were going to kick it. Our chance with Devin's probably better than getting 2 points. Devin's been pretty good all year, practice goal, but and he kind of missed that first one, but I think he had just run like 70 yards, 60 yards on a touchdown play before that. I'll give him a little.
We'll see you. Good one.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it.
Guys, that is the head coach of the Central Rebels. That's Kory Schweiss with us on a night that they found a way. Let's just say they do that frequently. They did it tonight.
All right, thanks.
And again, we appreciate that. Mike Reeves with Kory Schweiss, head coach of the Central Rebels. Central now 2-0. Jefferson 1-1 on the season.
Farmington continuing to roll as we check other scores from last night. Farmington beat St. Clair 60-27.
It was Glenwood, Illinois, shutting out North County 48-0.
DeSoto got the win over Perryville, 31-14.
Herculaneum blanking Fredericktown in the Battle of the Black Cats, 28-0.
Potosi ran past Charleston by a score of 39-6.
St. Genevieve now 2-0 on the season. The Dragons a 27-13 win over University City.
Valley looking good early in the year. They beat St. Vincent 42-7.
St. Louis U High hands Hillsborough the Hawks their first loss of the year, 35-14.
And Windsor rolled up on Afton by a score of 36-8, or is that 36-6?
Next Friday, we will stay with the Rebels, bring you their matchup with the Fredericktown Black Cats. Tune in at 6 o'clock for the Knuckleball Primetime pregame show. Kickoff at 7 o'clock. Chad Speaker, the coach, Bob Stolzer, Mike Reeves, Wyatt Colley, and Jacob Towers set to bring you Week 3 of the high school football season right here on Facebook and YouTube. Michael Randazzo has joined us in the barn. He will be our guest next as the Parkland podcast rolls on here on a Saturday morning.
Parkland Pharmacy is out to prove that local independent pharmacy is alive and well. We work hard at giving you an excellent experience every time you come to see us. We love what we do, and we would love to take care of you. There's no need to be frustrated with your health care. If you're tired of what your pharmacy is not doing for you, then stop waiting in line and come see us today. We have 6 locations across Southeast Missouri, so Google us to find the store nearest you or visit parklandrx.com. Parkland Pharmacy is a local pharmacy at its finest.
When comfort matters, count on Capayas Heating and Cooling. Proudly serving St. Francis and surrounding counties, they are your local Bryant Factory authorized dealer, delivering top quality heating and cooling solutions for your home or business. Founded in 2004 by Chuck Capayas, a family-owned and operated company that you can trust. Visit capayasheatingandcooling.com today. Capayas Heating and Cooling in Farmington, 756-1224.
Straight up 9 o'clock, 62 degrees here at the barn as we continue the Parkland podcast on this Saturday morning. Great guests joining us in studio. We have Judge Michael Randazzo, a Bismarck native, and you have a new book coming out. It's called Presiding Over the Shadows, From Chaos to Order in the Court. Good morning. Thanks so much for coming on the show. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, guys.
So talk about the history of Michael Randazzo,
All right,
Bismarck guy. I know that there weren't too many Randazzos, so that name like stuck with me when I was thinking about Bismarck Indian baseball and basketball games from back in the day. Talk about growing up in Bismarck and what that was like.
So Bismarck was a small town, obviously. A lot of industry that used to exist there is gone. Mm-hmm. And so it's a shell of what it used to be, kind of lots of old guard, lots of older people that are in that city that didn't want it to change or haven't wanted to see a lot of change over the years. And I was kind of a new kid with a really weird last name coming into a city that wasn't the most accepting of outsiders, to be honest.
And how old were you?
I was 9 when we moved to Bismarck.
Okay.
I actually lived in Arcadia Valley from the time I was born until about when I was 9. We moved to Bismarck in my 3rd grade year, and I was a new kid, had a really funny last name, and found it a little bit hard to start sort of assimilating myself into the community. But I played baseball, and so that was kind of my ticket to meeting people and getting some acceptance. Probably didn't do much to help myself out because I wasn't the best kid. Got in a lot of fights, and so I always kind of had this chip on my shoulder, never really backed down from a challenge, and that was probably the character flaw that's kept me from doing a lot of things that I could have done or made it a lot harder. So, but eventually assimilated myself there into Bismarck. Played baseball in high school, played basketball in high school. Well, I was on the basketball team. I don't know if I call what I did playing basketball, but
hey, you're on the roster. That's all that matters.
But was pretty decent at baseball, and if I'd had it my way, I'd only play baseball the rest of my life. I always feel at home on the ball field. I coach to this day still. It's just a special place for me.
So you wrap up the high school career. Did you have aspirations of law at that point?
I did, and I kind of had to make a choice. I got a couple offers to play baseball at the next level at some JUCOs, but I had a full ride scholarship for academics, and I didn't have any way to pay for college. So no one in my family had ever graduated from college, and nobody in my family had ever graduated from high school even before that. So college was going to have to be my thing. I didn't get any real help about choosing a college or picking a major, but I did know I had some things happen in my life that I knew I wanted to go into law. And so to get there, I went to UMSL, University of Missouri St. Louis, full ride academic scholarship. Everything was paid for but room and board. And so I had to figure out, how am I going to do this? So I commuted, and I commuted back and forth to UMSL, got my undergrad degree, and then commuted back and forth to St. Louis University Law School and got my law degree from there. Passed the bar, first try, unbelievably, and went to work at the public defender's office here in Farmington. And that was my first job out of law school.
Wow.
So how did you transfer from that into where you are now?
It's kind of a long story, but just sum it up pretty quickly.
We got plenty of time.
I went to work at the public defender's office, got assigned cases. So the way that those cases come to you, you don't get to pick and choose your clients. Right. They get assigned. It's people that are indigent, and they're left with you, for lack of a better way to describe it. The benefit is you get to try a lot of cases. The real problem with that is you get to try some really bad cases. Mm-hmm. I got assigned a really bad case right out of law school, right when I started the public defender's office, and I had a young child at home, and I was defending someone who had done some bad things to a young child. Had a jury trial, lost very quickly, and realized sort of in that moment, I can't do this anymore. I literally was representing someone who, if had been released, would have been back out on the streets and potentially putting my own family, my own child at risk. That's all I ever thought I was going to be, was a defense attorney. That's all I ever wanted to be. And so I had to figure out what I was going to do for the rest of my life pretty quick. Met a few people through just some contacts, and one of them was a prosecutor in Crawford County, and he agreed to hire me as an assistant prosecutor there. So I became an assistant prosecutor, prosecuted cases there for about 4 years. Opened my own office in Ironton after that, and was appointed in 2016 to be the prosecuting attorney of Reynolds County. Their prosecutor had left, went to the bench. They had an open spot. I got the appointment, and I was a prosecutor there for about 6 years. The position I'm in now, the judge decided he was not going to run for re-election, so it was an open seat, and I took a shot. Now, as a prosecutor coming from Reynolds County, the smallest county in that circuit, wasn't known real well, but at least had some reputation across the circuit, and so we ran an election against 4 other people. I won with a plurality, not a majority, but 5 of us. I got about 36% of the vote, and on January 1st of 2021, I was sworn in as circuit judge for the Division II of the 42nd Judicial Circuit.
So, you know, a circuit judge is pretty busy. You go from county to county to county to county. What makes you decide with that large workload that, you know what, that's not enough. I need to write a book. How did you get into that?
So I made some promises during the election that I would be an open book. And this quite literally is that. There was speculation. I mean, going back to my Bismarck days, right after we moved, they started calling me Mafia Mike.
Mafia Mike, tell us about that.
So, you know, just hearing the name, I mean, Italian last name.
Right.
Everybody sort of associates pizza, The Godfather, kind of. It's just what they know. And really, I have about 18% of Italian blood in me, so it's not a whole lot, not an overwhelming amount, right. And but the name's there, and the name kind of just brought this label, and so I mean, people would literally call me Mafia Mike in school. What they didn't know is there's some truth to that. Now, it was not as close in connection as what they believed it to be.
Right. Yeah.
But there was some truth to that, and so I kind of always kept my mouth shut about it. I knew the history, but I really didn't want other people to know it. Yeah. And I made it to the point in my life where, to be real honest, I think it's therapeutic to sometimes talk about these things. And in fulfillment of my promise, I'm an open book. Wow. Literally, quite literally now.
So you'll talk about this in the book, Presiding Over Shadows.
I do.
From chaos to order in the court. And therapeutic. So obviously, I would assume, like, the first time they said, "Oh, Mafia Mike," it probably bothered you a lot, and then eventually you kind of just like, okay, whatever. At least they're not, calling me stupid or whatever. And so this has got to be like a big release for you, isn't it? Yeah,
it was. To be real honest, at first, exactly, it hit me kind of wrong. It was. I didn't like it. I didn't, I knew that they were making certain assumptions about me based upon that. At some point, you kind of own it. And you're like, yeah.
Well, The Sopranos came out, and that was probably pretty cool, right?
Yeah. So it kind of and it gives you sort of this air of mystery.
Yeah.
Which the book's gonna completely destroy, but.
Well, let's talk about the book. Did you write the book just for your own therapeutic uses? Did you expect a big response, and are you surprised by the response?
I had no expectations when I started this. This project didn't even start as a book. My kids were getting older, and my grandpa passed away in September of 2022. And lots of these stories are about him. And he was kind of just this larger-than-life guy. He was always my hero, and, he died, and I had to come to terms with that. One of the things I didn't want to happen is us to lose sort of the stories he told. He was a great storyteller. In fact, I don't know how well you can see the shirt, but my shirt actually says, wrestle your bear. It's kind of a mafia don set in a courtroom, but it's a bear. And so that story's told in the book. It's about my grandpa literally wrestled a bear in his life.
Oh, wow.
But the story's told with a lesson of humility, which I don't think he had. And I'm not sure I do. I always thought I was kind of a humble guy. I don't try to brag. I never tried to brag about things. And then my wife reminded me, you wrote a book about yourself. So, while humming, you're so vain.
She keeps you grounded, doesn't she?
Very much so. She's the right kind of tough and tender.
Yeah. And you guys have how many kids together?
So we have 2 biological, 1 stepson, but the third one's mine as well. So
Sure.
we have 3 kids, Jacob, Joey, and Gracie. And she's a pretty tough cookie. So
is this the start of a second career? Do you see more books coming up, or is this a one and done?
We'll see. So I say we'll see. I've got some requests to write about some specific cases, which I don't do a lot of in this book.
Right.
There's a lot of stories that I don't tell in this book because some of them aren't mine to tell.
Yeah.
I don't tell many stories about my kids. I don't tell a lot of stories about people that I don't have permission to tell stories about. So I got some consent about almost every story that's in that book. There are some stories about specific cases. I told you the story about kind of my transition from a defense attorney. That story's in the book. No names.
Right.
No, but as specific as I can be without giving out any client confidences.
Is this all you, or did you have somebody help you with this?
Completely me.
Wow.
Completely me. It started out, as I said, it was just I wanted to preserve some stories for my kids. It was just literally a Word document on my computer. And then it kept growing and it kept growing and kept growing. And there was just something I was finding therapeutic about it.
So how did you get in touch with a publisher and the cover and everything? How did this all come into place?
Really just dumb luck.
Yeah.
I was writing. I was looking at some point. I was like, this is a little bit more than just a Word file. How do I preserve it? How do I keep this in sort of a tight, neat fashion and be able to present it maybe to my kids someday? Because that was the goal when I started. By doing that, I found out some self-publishing, materials or self-publishing routes that you could go. I looked into that, and then I got this sort of Facebook ad that kept coming up with different publishers and then soliciting certain types of works. Eventually, I saw one. I was like, this may fit. Didn't have any real plans of it being anything more than just sort of this pet project to leave some legacy to my kids about kind of their lives. Sent it in, they reviewed it, and the CEO of Wild Blue Press calls me and says, we are going to publish this story.
Wow.
And
CEO.
so I was floored, to be honest. I didn't know that it was interesting enough for anyone to even care. And it still may not be, but they decided to take a chance on it.
Wow, that is cool. Do you watch judge shows? Do you have any aspiration to be the next Judge Judy?
Well, so I do watch judge shows. My kids hate it. My wife hates it.
They hate watching it with you, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And I just tell them, I'm trying to just hone my skills. I'm trying to just become a better judge. But what I do in the courtroom is nothing like those shows.
Of course.
And so I don't know that I have the personality to do it.
Yeah.
I don't really know that I have the desire to do it. But it does sort of humanize what we do in the judiciary. And that's kind of one of the goals that I have at this point, is just kind of make the judiciary more human, not robotic, not the old white guy who's cranky and sits on the bench and just, barely surviving, much less listening to what's going on in the court.
So speaking of your wife and your kids, sometimes your biggest critics, sometimes your best critics, what do they think of the book?
Well, they just got their copies of the book and their first time reading it a few days ago.
Oh, boy.
Okay. It wasn't that I wanted to keep things secret from them, but I wanted to make sure it was in final form, go through all the edits. Everything was just sort of polished for them to get it. Because this was a presentation to them. It was more of this was their project. This is I joked earlier about this book's about me, but this book's about us. And so presenting it to them was something special to me too. They got their copies. None of them have finished it yet, and so there still may be some surprises for them as well. But each of them I think have started. They're somewhere in between. I've told them kind of the chapters that are about them, and so they're interested in those.
So were they, when you told them what you were doing, were they like, that is so cool? Or are they like, really, you? Or
I think they're kind of like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like they're so. I mean, you talked about it earlier, Mark, about the time, and there's a huge time commitment to what I do professionally. I wrote this book on holidays, weekends, nights. Wrote a huge portion of this book over last Christmas break. I woke up every day. I started writing at 7 a.m. ish. Wow. And I would write as long as I could throughout the day. Lots of those days, 10, 12-hour days. And I just kept writing and kept writing and kept writing. And so they knew I had something going on. But sometimes I'm just that consumed in work.
Right.
This time it was different. This was therapeutic when I was doing that. And so I was healing, even though it was this last year. It took me that long to really kind of get over my grandpa's death.
You have a book signing coming up in October in Bismarck. Tell us about that.
So October 18th, I'm partnering with the Bismarck Coffee Company. It's there on Main Street in Bismarck. They've redone a building down there that was dilapidated. It's beautiful. New business, great coffee. And they've agreed to partner with me and allow me to do a book signing there. And so it's going to be open to the public. Anyone who gets a book before then can bring theirs in. I'll sign anything they bring in. I don't care how they get it. If they find it in the trash and they want to just bring it in, good with me. But it's going to be a public book signing. I'll sign as many that they have there. I will have books available for purchase, but if they buy them from Amazon, if they buy them from any retailer that might have it at that point, bring them in. I'm happy to sign them. And if I can't get them there, send me a message on Facebook, reach out somehow, and I'll sign anybody's book that wants it signed.
Are you hoping to have more than one book signing?
I do plan on doing something more than that. I got to get some details sort of ironed out on venues, to be real honest. They always ask me the size of the crowd, and I didn't know what to expect even when I told the coffee shop there in Bismarck what to expect crowd-wise. Had a pretty overwhelming response, way more than I ever thought even at this point that it would be. The pre-orders and sort of the requests for books at the signing have been overwhelming, so much so that I can't get enough in my hands to have that initial book signing. Actually, I had to delay it almost a month.
It's supposed to be this month, and you're pushing it back. Wow.
That's right. Which I regret to do that, but I think it's a good sign.
Yeah, I would say so too.
So when you finished the book and you sent it off, I've always heard stories about you've got editors that'll look through it and they'll do all the cross this out, this isn't correct. Did they change it much, or?
They didn't change any of the substance of the stories. If it was a story that they were like, we want the substance of this changed, we just took the chapter out. There were multiple chapters that were written that didn't make it to the book. Huh. I lost a little bit of creative control over the book by agreeing to go with the publisher, and I think that's just kind of the standard. Right. Literally, the name of the book was going to be what's on my shirt, and that was my plan. There's a big story that's in there about sort of what it takes to wrestle a bear, and even if you lose, you should have lost, you still wrestled a bear. And it's about humility, but also just sort of about how you face the world.
Well, now you got a title for your second book.
Well, possibly. Let's get this one through. I didn't realize how much work it took to write a book, to be honest. I'm not a writer, and if you ask any of those teachers I had in Bismarck, probably any of them, they're like, there's no way this guy will ever write a book. Like, we can't get him to write a paragraph in class.
By the way, is there a teacher back at Bismarck that you're hoping will really be here for this, or one that really kind of inspired you?
So I want to invite all my English teachers because they had some impact on that. But there is one teacher who really she even sacrificed her career for me, and it was Patty Pinkley. Yeah. Miss Pinkley was my 4th grade teacher. She saw something in me. She actually got me pushed towards the gifted program at Bismarck. And then she became the gifted teacher later in her career, which was later in my high school career. I got into some trouble. And she actually, at one point, kept me from quitting high school.
Wow.
She made the contacts that got me into UMSL. She made the contacts that got me the full ride scholarship that I got to UMSL. And she is undoubtedly the only reason that I knew how to navigate college and had any aspirations of going to graduate school after that.
Cool.
So she deserves so much credit.
Wow, that's great. Have you spoken with her recently, or?
It's been a while, and I regret that. I will get a copy of this book in her hand. She's talked about in the book, and she deserves a ton of credit for my academic success, but also my personal successes, because there were points in my life where I was ready to just give up, and she met me at one of those points and wouldn't let me.
Wow, that is fantastic.
Power of a teacher.
Yeah, absolutely. Legal aspirations. Do you have aspirations of moving up the chain?
I'm very happy where I'm at.
Yeah.
I would have told you a few years ago that I'd never have any aspirations to ever sort of move on to the Court of Appeals or to do anything beyond that. I don't want to say never at this point, because I would have told you 2 years ago that I'd never write a book.
Right.
But I'm very happy doing what I'm doing. I feel like I've found my purpose in the legal community by doing what I'm doing, and I'm young enough to make changes that need to be made to our judiciary, and I can see them through. And I think that that's important. I think one of the things I'd like to do is just humanize the judiciary, and I just appreciate a venue like this to allow me to do that. Like, I didn't come in here in a suit, and in fact, if you see me on the streets, you're not going to see me in a suit. You're not going to see me dressed up. This is me.
So no political aspirations, no state rep, state senator kind of thing?
And again, I'm not going to ever preclude anything.
Right.
I'm very happy doing what I'm doing. I can do this until I'm 70 years old, or the voters kick me out. And so I interview for this job every 6 years. If they decide to keep me, it's been the honor of my life. It will always be, regardless of how the remainder of my career plays out. But I'm right where I want to be and right where I need to be right now.
So I guess re-election in 2026, is that
That's
your
right.
year?
That's right.
Very good. Well, boy, it's been great talking to you. This is such a neat story, and it's so cool to see somebody like you said, ready to quit high school, and then all of a sudden able to aspire to being able to do this thanks to the help of a lot of good people.
There's a story of hope somewhere in there. And really, to be honest, there's lots of different themes in this book. If you're looking for something in this book, you can find it. Maybe not so much on the romance stuff. My wife likes to read some of those romance-type novels. And there's not any of that 50 Shades of Grey type stuff in here. There are some romantic gestures, but nothing like that.
Well, maybe some young person will read this and get inspired to do something along the lines of what you did.
I can only hope.
Yeah.
If it touches one person, even if it's not my own children, but if it touches one person, inspires them to do something that they weren't comfortable with or that they thought they couldn't do, it's done its job.
Where can we find Presiding Over the Shadows?
So right now there's an Amazon pre-order link up. That order link will take you to the ebook. You can pre-order the ebook. It will be delivered on September 16th. At September 16th at 12 a.m., so at midnight, the 15th going into the 16th, the live link will be open for the hardback and the softback, or the paperback, and the audiobook will also be up wherever you can find audiobooks. So any app that has audiobooks should have access to the audiobook, and then ebook through Kindle. There are going to be some retailers, although that's going to be more of market strategy stuff that I don't have control over. Mm-hmm. Some retailers are going to get it. Some local places have agreed to sort of take some copies and sell them, consign them, kind of thing. But depending on the success or the failure, it may find its way into some major retailers. There are some plans to try to get it tested in a couple markets, Barnes and Noble, things like that. So,
good. If this turns into a movie, who plays you?
Oh man, I don't. That's really putting me on the spot. Oh man, I don't know. I'm sure that they'll find some
Matthew McConaughey.
No, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. That's a terrible comparison. that guy's he's a lot more handsome than I am. But I think they probably find one of the kind of stereotypical Italian guys, and they have him run with it, and that's the last name probably warrants it. Although all I am is a country boy, and that's all I've ever been, so it's not.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much for coming on this morning. This has been a great interview.
I loved it, guys. Thank you so much for the outlet, and if there's any time in the future you think I can contribute, reach out. I'd be happy to come back. I'd love
to do it.
Absolutely. Michael Randazzo, Presiding Over Shadows, From Chaos to Order in the Court. Again, this book will be available wherever you get books, coming up here in a couple of weeks. Bismarck graduate, done well thanks to the help of some great teachers and great family support as well. Give a shout out to the wife one more time, because I've seen that she's been watching on the Facebook feed.
Hey guys, I appreciate you tuning in, and keep reading the book.
There you go.
And next book we'll have more of the romantic stuff here.
Appreciate your time. Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
guys.
Michael Randazzo, Judge Michael Randazzo, joining us here on the Parkland podcast. It is 9:25, 63 degrees at the barn.
It's the memories made during a weekend with the girls, a family adventure, or a Sunday stroll in historic downtown. At First State Community Bank, we have a strong passion for small business owners and the students and families who live, work, and play here. Our passion for them runs deep because this is our community too. First State Community Bank. Success starts here.
You often ask others to repeat themselves? Is the TV volume creeping up higher? Hi, I'm Dr. Karen Melton, and it could be time to have your hearing checked. Hearing loss happens gradually, making it hard to notice. At Hearing Care Partners, we offer thorough hearing evaluations that uncover even subtle changes in your hearing over time. Early detection can improve your hearing and your life. Start prioritizing your hearing today. Schedule your appointment now at hearingcarepartners.com. At Hearing Care Partners, we listen so you can hear.
Why do so many people like working at the Southeast Missouri Mental Health Center?
The pay is awesome. What we do for our clients is awesome. The coworkers that we have, the staff, everybody is just, they're all welcoming.
I feel very supported. It's a great network of people that we have working here. We really work together, I think, to try to improve the lives of those that we serve.
The insurance is phenomenal. The cost is minimal. They're good to us. And the benefits are so great, you can't beat it.
Apply today. Mark, First State Community Bank is the friendly first. They're always taking great care of their customers. They're always taking care of the community, hence First State Community Bank. But I know you and I both bank there. That's where the Parkland Podcast bank account is. And that's no accident. That's not just that's the bank we like.
No, they do great work there. They're a great community bank. I do a lot of things with the Chamber of Commerce, and every time I'm at an event, I always see folks from First State. Saw Andy Buchanan this past Thursday at a grand opening, ribbon cutting type ceremony. And I see Tanya Thomas at a lot of things, Kristen Ben-Scooter, and then there's Dan Combs, who's been a guest on this show as well. So they get very involved in the community. They do great financial work and great community work.
FSCB.com is the website. They have locations all over the place, all over Farmington, downtown. That's the easiest one for Mark to bank at. I love the convenience of the Washington Karsh branch.
Yeah.
Because when my kids tell me like 5 minutes before I'm dropping them off, oh, Dad, I need money for such and such, I'm able to zip in there and pull out a 20 and make sure the kids are taken care of. First State Community Bank, super convenient. Find them online, fscb.com, member FDIC. Let's do some birthdays. Mark Toady, it is time to wish some happy birthdays to some people. Let us know about your birthdays. Hit us up on the Facebook Messenger, on TikTok, or email jkldigmed@gmail.com. Who do you have celebrating a birthday today, September 6th?
Stephen Henty, married to Candy Henty.
It's his birthday every day.
It's his birthday every day. He smiles all the time because he's married to Candy. Happy birthday to you, Stephen. Hope you're doing great. Happy birthday wishes to Patsy Skiles.
Yay!
Before it was
You'll love to shop at
Cornerstone.
Patsy's.
Yeah, before it was Cornerstone, it was Patsy's. And she got it all started way back in the day. Patsy, I hope you and Chuck are doing fantastic.
Do you know the history of that jingle? Because that's one of the best jingles around. I mean, it's stuck
addicting.
with you.
It's addicting,
Yeah,
for sure.
I didn't know if you wrote that or.
Oh, no, yeah. no, I did not. But I think it did evolve to the old radio station.
Yeah.
Michelle King, wife of the former pastor at St. Paul Lutheran Church. Happy birthday to you, Michelle, from your 3 daughters and, of course, your husband and your family. Emily Stroop, happy birthday to you, young lady. St. Paul Lutheran person, and I hope you're doing great. Sally Colwell, she is a realtor in the area, and she also works with me every year. I MC an event for the local realtors group, and she's the gal I work with. Sally, happy birthday.
If you ever sell your house, you're going to have a hard time picking who to do it.
Yeah, I'll just
She
open it
knows
up.
so many of them.
Yeah, I do, and they all would probably use that $4 commission they'll get from my house.
Happy birthday today to Casey Murphy. Her photography is fantastic. D Squared is the name of her company. And happy birthday, Casey. Hope it's a great day for you from Jesse and your son and daughter. Hope you have an awesome day. What about Sunday, September the 7th?
Sunday. Well, we used to call him the Redhead Tornado, but that's back when he had hair, and it was actually a little bit on the red side. David Burke, happy birthday wishes to you, buddy. He's a great dude.
He is.
Yeah,
absolutely.
One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. I hope you have a great day today. Christy Camp celebrates a birthday on Sunday.
Christy.
She has the tough task of keeping Greg Camp on the straight and narrow. And she does a great job of it. Christy, happy birthday wishes to you. Elise Schmidt, happy birthday wishes to you, young lady. She was a school teacher for several years in Jefferson County. She went to school at Farmington, just a sweetheart of a gal. Happy birthday to you. Alex Puig, she grew up in, I think, Reynolds County, Ellington area. Anyway, now she's living in Florida, married, got a couple kids. Alex, happy birthday wishes to you. And hey, you know him as Big Sweaty, and you know him better than I do, so I'll let you take it from there.
My big cousin, Adam Big Sweaty Redeker, celebrating a birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, cuz. He is officially been named as the Central High School Athletic Booster Club president, he and Danielle. And the reason why, I talked to John Petty, the athletic director at Central last night. He's going to have a kid in the Central School District for the next 15 years, so that's a good investment. Happy birthday, cuz. It's great talking to you at the Labor Day Parade, and hope life's going awesome for you. And Cody Asher, another Central legend, celebrating a birthday on Sunday, too. Happy birthday, Cody. What about Monday, September 8th?
Monday, Alex Gearsey celebrates a birthday. His whole family goes to St. Paul. Alex lives down in, I believe, the Cape Girardeau area. He was a pretty good little basketball player back in the day. So, Alex, happy birthday wishes to you. Happy birthday to Terry Grindstaff. She is the mother of Paul Grindstaff, who helps to organize Blues, Brews, and Barbecue. So, Terry, happy birthday wishes to you from all your family. And my buddy Brent Lundstrom is celebrating a birthday on Monday. If you ever want to go somewhere and you don't really feel like talking a whole lot, but you don't mind listening, Brent is the guy to hang out with. because he will talk enough to fill up a whole podcast all by
Nice.
himself. But
We
he's a
need to
heck
have him
of a
on the
good
show,
dude.
huh?
He would be a good. Might have to use a little bleeper switch,
Oh.
but that's all right. Brett, happy birthday wishes to you, buddy.
I want to wish a happy birthday on Monday to Lindy LaChance. Lindy's the CEO of Black River Electric Co-op and baby boomer performer, I believe, since the original show. And just does a lot of good work with Deloge Baptist Church and the community. Happy birthday, Lindy. Hope you have a great day. And Laura Higgins celebrating a birthday on Monday as well. Happy birthday, Laura. Hope you have a great day. What about Tuesday, September 9th?
Tuesday, just one birthday, but it's one of my favorite people. Donna Black celebrates a birthday. She goes to St. Joseph Catholic Church, but I've known Donna for about 30 some odd years. She was a heck of a volleyball player back in the day. She keeps Barney out of trouble, which is no easy feat. But Donna, if you want to say happy birthday wishes to her on Tuesday, stop by the Farmington Public Library. She works part-time for the library, and she is awesome. So, Donna, happy birthday wishes to you.
Happy birthday on Tuesday to Gabe Mosier, a proud North County graduate, and Ronan Jude. Ronan is a junior now at Farmington High School and one of my favorite students. He's good at a little bit of everything. Happy birthday, Ronan. Hope you have an awesome day. What about Wednesday, September 10th?
Wednesday, just one birthday. Brock Bollinger celebrates a birthday. Brock is a local real estate agent. I saw him at the Farmington golf tournament. Doing great. He's just a young guy, like 21 or 22 maybe, and he's been knocking it out of the park as a real estate agent. So, Brock, happy birthday wishes to you from your mom and from all your family.
I want to wish a happy birthday to my favorite deacon, Deacon Mike Birch. There is not many humans better than this guy. Deacon Mike is so cool. He retired from Immaculate in Park Hills last year, so we don't get to see him as much, but he's still kind of active on the circuit. The kids will say, hey, Deacon Mike was at Mass today at St. Joe's. So good to see him. He was Jonas's sponsor, and just a great guy. Happy birthday, Deacon Mike. I hope you have an awesome day. What about Thursday, September 11th?
Thursday, a guy I went to high school with, and we're friends on Facebook, Larry Lipinski. We used to play tennis together back when we were like 15, 16, 17, and it didn't matter who won. Before it was all said and done, we would end up in a fight. And I mean, a literal knockdown, drag out, argue, call your mama names, fight, and then we'd get over it and we'd finish up the game and go home and be back the next week and we'd play again. So, Larry, happy birthday wishes to you. I hope you're doing great. And Gary Pinkston celebrating a birthday on Thursday. He did a lot of work with exchange students back in the day before. I think he moved to Florida. I'm not sure. He's a pretty good guitar player, too. Gary, happy birthday wishes to you from all your family.
I want to wish Allie Klein a happy birthday on Thursday. Allie, I believe, now is one of the assistant principals at North County High School. She's moving on up. Good job for a good St. John girl. Happy birthday, Allie. Hope you have a great day. And wrapping up the week, Friday, September 12th, who are your birthdays?
Lots of birthdays to pass along. Kathy Baker celebrating a birthday. She is the wife of Rick Baker, the former police chief in Farmington. Kathy, happy birthday wishes to you. Devin Crawford, at one point about 14 or so years ago, she was the Country Days queen in Farmington. Devin, I hope you're doing fantastic. Doug Moore celebrates a birthday. Doug worked at the prison. He may still work at the prison.
I think he
I'm not
does,
sure.
yeah.
But he also was an umpire for a whole lot of baseball games and a ref for a bunch of basketball games. Doug, happy birthday wishes to you. Jason Fitzwater celebrating a birthday today. Fitz, I hope you're doing fantastic. He played on the MAC basketball team way back in the day. I hope you're doing great. Does a
Is
lot
he the
of
real
work.
Estate guy?
He's the legal guy.
He's
He
the
does
legal
law
guy.
enforcement
Okay.
guy.
Law
Yeah.
enforcement. There's legal, there's real estate, there's concrete, there's a lot of
Yes.
professions in the Fitzwater family.
There's a lot of Fitz in the Fitzwaters, that's for sure. Happy birthday to you and our good buddy Billy Bess.
Billy
Bill
Bess.
Bess celebrating a birthday. He was a heck of a football player. And Bill, and now a real estate guy, or insurance guy. Bill, I hope you're doing fantastic. Happy birthday wishes to you.
Yeah, happy birthday, Bill. Sarah Lawson celebrating a birthday on Friday. Happy birthday, Sarah. Keep on fighting. You're doing awesome. And friend of the podcast, Jerry Reed, celebrating a birthday. Still having trouble with that Burt Reynolds death, but I think he's going to be okay with it. But happy birthday, Jerry. Hope you have an awesome, awesome day. So those are your birthdays for the week of Saturday, September 6th. Heimburger Construction. Heimburgerconstruction.com is the website. They are a fine supporter of the Parkland podcast. And, Mark, they're always out to support a good cause in the area.
Yes, they sure are. I saw Jenny actually on Thursday night, stop by to say hi to her and her great friend Michelle, who is getting married here in a couple of weeks, to my buddy Randy. Just wonderful to sit down and talk with. She is just really good at what she does, and she will make sure that the plans for your building are exactly the way you want them. She'll use the best material, and they do a fantastic job at Heimburger Construction. I have no problem at all in recommending them.
Butler Buildings. They are the best metal building system on the market and the only buildings that have a pre-punched roof system and standard 360-degree roof seam for their standing seam roof. What does that mean? Well, it means that everything's going to be nice and tight and it's going to stay dry. The innards of your building, the wood is not going to get wet and swell and cause all kinds of problems because they are protected by those quality Butler-built buildings. Plus, Butler buildings are based in Missouri, and they've done business all over the world. And Heimburger Construction, pretty much the same way, too. They're not just building buildings in Deloge and Bonne Terre. They're all over the place.
They sure are, and they would love to talk to you about your next project.
Check them out. Their website's fantastic, HeimburgerConstruction.com. Since 1978, Heimburger Construction, proud sponsor of the Parkland podcast. You ready for our musical segment?
Let's do it.
All right, let's music it on up. This week, the music segment, we always talk about a song we like, and then we talk about a musical theme. I completely forgot the musical theme you gave me, and I completely forgot which song I was going to feature this week, so I'll let you go ahead and go first.
Well, my song is a song I was listening to on the way out here, and I remember the first time I heard this song, and that's saying something because I was just a teenager at the time, but it's from Michael Stanley. Before there was the Michael Stanley Band, there was just Michael Stanley, and he had two great songs off his debut album. One was called Rosewood Bitters, which is a fabulous
great
song, and the other one is Let's Get the Show on the Road, and it is a great, great, great tune. Check it out if you never have before. Check out the live version of the Michael Stanley Band and album. And it is a really good live version of that song, too. He rocks it up like a son of a gun. Michael Stanley Band out of Cleveland, Ohio. It's music that you definitely will like.
I'm going to go with Ocean Man, courtesy of the band Ween, which was actually a B-side to the single Mutilated Lips, released in 1997. You remember that.
Yeah.
The song did not do well initially until it was picked up for the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, and now it is the most downloaded and listened to song by far in the Ween category, all by just appearing in the 2004 movie SpongeBob SquarePants the movie. And apparently the creators of SpongeBob based SpongeBob itself off of this song. So it has a little bit of a history. Dean and Gene Ween wrote this song not thinking that it would actually go on to inspire one of the most iconic cartoons in the history of people. So there you go, Ocean Man. Check it out from Ween from the 1997 album The Mollusk. What is our musical prompt this week, sir?
Songs that not necessarily made famous in movies, but songs that found a new life in the movies.
What do you have so far?
Well, so far I've got, of course, old-time rock and roll.
Yes, Risky
from the
Business.
movie Risky Business. And then the Immigrant Song from the Avengers
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
movie. And what was the group that Chad was talking about last week? The Irish group in the movie The Departed.
Yes. Bouncing Souls, was that it?
You know what? I'd have to... I don't know if it's not the Irish Travelers. I have to look that up. But great. When they're driving down the road and that song is blaring, and man, I'm rocking out to it.
Well, one song that I think fits that very well is the song Master of Puppets from Metallica, released back in 1986. You know, Metallica fans knew a lot about that song, but then it was used as kind of the end of a season, I think, of Stranger Things. And then all of a sudden, everybody knew about that song.
Dropkick Murphys.
Dropkick Murphys, that's it. That is it. Bohemian Rhapsody, another fine example. You think about the car scene in Wayne's World. That song originally released in 1975. Not only did Wayne's World make that song popular again in 1992, it was also brought back forward again in 2018 when the biopic by the same name was released, which I think is a fantastic biopic, the Queen movie. Although I think it would have been better with the Borat guy. You know who I'm talking about? Yeah. He was originally supposed to play Freddie Mercury, but he wanted to make it all dark and, you know, really dig into the drugs and the homosexuality and everything. And the band's like, yeah, we want to go positive.
Yeah.
And so they ended up, he ended up leaving that project. I think it would have been better, but it was still a pretty good movie. Dream On by Aerosmith recently got a bump when it was featured in the Netflix TV show The Umbrella Academy. I think about, the Electric Light Orchestra song, Mr. Blue Sky, with the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. That brought that song back as well. Danger Zone, Kenny Loggins.
Oh, yeah, from Top Gun.
With the new Top Gun coming back, that brought that back. So those were just a few that came to mind. But I think the Bohemian Rhapsody probably is the top dog.
Any Quentin Tarantino movie will have Stuck in the Middle with You from
Reservoir Dogs.
Reservoir Dogs.
That scene.
Yeah, and anything, what was the vampire movie with George Clooney in it? Every song on there is just fantastic. And then Pulp Fiction. Anything from Pulp Fiction, too.
Yeah, great stuff. So that's some great tunes for you. Music can play such a cool part in a movie, and some of the coolest movies ever. That music just works hand in hand. Wouldn't that be a cool job, just to sit there and figure out what songs need to go in movies? I'm sure that's what somebody does for a living, right?
Yeah, I'm sure somebody gets paid something for doing that.
Yeah, that would be a cool job. I don't know if it'd be as cool as podcasting.
Nah. It's not for the barn, at least.
Do we know who's coming on next week's show?
We have Chris Morrison's going to give us an update on the budget process for Farmington, and hopefully we'll have a little more information on Blues, Brews, and Barbecue, and hopefully we'll be out at the podcast with the podcast on the 20th.
Yeah, 20th is going to be a big show. Downtown Farmington, we'll be hanging out there. Now that we're live and we got one of those little portable internet thingies that we use for football, we can use it for us too. So looking forward to that. We'll be doing a few more of these live broadcasts out and about. Kelly Valley hated that word. Oh, yeah, let's look for comments. This is what we need to do at the beginning. Well, a lot of people checking in. Appreciate that. Jim Whaley says hello.
Hello, Jim.
I don't see any more comments on the Facebook. Let me flip over to YouTube.
Yeah, feel free to send us comments, suggestions. Tell us to go stick it if you want. We're good with that.
I never understood why people would do that. They'd sit there and they'd watch and make it through this whole event just to tell us we stink.
We've been told that before.
That is true. Let's see. The YouTube comments, we have no YouTube comments, so I know. Oh, well, maybe next week we'll get some comments on here. Feel free to comment Also, feel free to like, subscribe. The audio version of the podcast will be downloaded a little bit later on today. Still putting those out there. So if you like to be like Jake Johnson and pop on some headphones and cut grass, we got you covered. But I still am a huge fan of this Facebook Live thing, and I've had quite a few positive comments about it too.
Yeah,
so
liking it a lot.
yeah, there you go. Well, everybody have a great week. Take a chance this coming up Thursday. Remember everything that took place on that day, and keep that. In fact, that's our Totally Awesome radio story next week.
Okay.
We've already got it figured out. We're going to talk about what you and I did on 9/11 because we were both working together at J98 that day, and we kind of have a funny story about that day as well, even though there wasn't a whole lot funny happening.
In perspective, yes.
In perspective, it gets funnier every time we tell it. Mark, have a great week, buddy.
You too, sir.
All
Thank
right,
you, folks.
Have a great week. You've been checking out the Parkland